Hey there, are you interested in capturing stunning landscapes? Do you want to learn how to shoot in manual mode? If so, you've come to the right place. In this video, I'm going to share my top 10 tips for getting the best out of manual mode for landscape photography. Tip number 1 is use a tripod. To keep the tripod steady, you have to go ahead and eliminate unwanted camera shake for your landscapes, and using a tripod will definitely do that. Tip number 2 is to go ahead and set your ISO to the possible lowest setting to minimize noise and to get the sharpest image possible. Tip number 3 is use a narrow aperture, such as f11 or f16, where the lens will be sharpest to increase the depth of field and keep everything in focus. Tip number 4 is to adjust your shutter speed to achieve the desired exposure in landscape photography. You'll want to often set a slower shutter speed to create a sense of movement, such as with waterfalls or clouds. Tip number 5, use manual focus to ensure your subject is sharp and in focus. Most lenses have an AF or M switch on them where you can switch it to manual focus and use the focus ring. Tip number 6, shoot in RAW format and have greater control over your final image during post-processing. You'll be able to get more color reproduction and more details back out of your photos. Tip number 7, use a remote shutter release to further reduce any camera shake and avoid accidentally bumping the camera. This is very helpful to get sharp photos. Tip number 8, use a graduated neutral density filter to balance the exposure between the bright sky and darker foreground, resulting in more evenly lit and exposed images. Tip number 9, consider using the rule of thirds when composing your shot. This involves dividing the frame into thirds both horizontally and vertically and placing your subject along these lines or intersection points for a more balanced and a more visually appealing image. Tip number 10, finally, don't be afraid to experiment and have fun. Play around with different settings, angles, and compositions to find what works best for you and your style. And there you have it, my top 10 tips for shooting landscapes in manual mode. If you want to learn more about photography, be sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and visit my site over on charlienaebeck.co. To sign up for my mailing list, get helpful tips and tricks in your inbox also. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day. Happy shooting.